All right. What's going on, NSPS TV fans? Hey, I lost something.
Oh no.
Let's see what's going on. Did I lose you, Travis? Seem like
Hi, I'm Travis. I uh I am the founder of Pales. I had to think about that for a second because I recently changed the name. I've been a paranormal investigator for a while. Oh, hey, Terry. Okay. I've been a paranormal investigator for there he is.
there you go.
Hey,
What's going on, Travis? How you doing, brother?
welcome back. I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. Sorry about that little technical difficulties. But tell the world a little bit about yourself.
All right. My name's Travis. I'm a paranormal investigator here in Dallas. I grew up in Cedar Hill. I'm the founder of Paranormal Files. And I have to keep stopping myself and thinking about that because recently I had it as CHIPS, and that was the Cedar Hill Investigations of Paranormal Studies or Sightings. And I threw that out the window. It's too long, and I don't live in Cedar Hill anymore. So, I don't want to limit myself. But yeah, so when I was a kid, I grew up in a haunted house. And my dad and we watched ghost hunting shows, or we watched the Haunted. And then there was a ghost hunter on Haunted, and I asked them about it. And ever since then, I've been looking for them and find. um, yeah, I've pretty much every house I moved in after that. I don't know if it was the houses that was haunted or if it was me that was haunted, but some of them were almost like movie scenes that I still question myself if I actually saw what I saw. But yeah, that's me.
All right, hold on for a sec. Okay.
Oh,
That should be a little bit better.
yeah, there you go.
All right, dude. Hey, how many members do you have on your team? Is it just you?
Yeah. So right now it's just me. It started out when I was 13 is when I came up with the idea of forming a group and actually getting equipment and starting. And it was
Uh-huh.
just me and my buddy Travis. We started, and then once I moved to Hill area, I met a few other people. They joined in for a bit, and then they left. And then, but people just have their own things to do, and
Right.
not everybody is into the paranormal like we are. You just got to find the right people. And I mean, I have the equipment for about like a 5-man crew. So
Mhm.
whoever wants to join, we're ready to go.
Oh, wow. Is that an invitation?
How far are you?
Oh, well, I'm in the Central Texas area. I'm in the Austin area. But
Yeah.
I do have friends that are looking for teams up in the Dallas area.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, for sure. If you want to reach out to me any way you can, go for it. Just look up paranormal files, or even if you looked up Chips Paranormal, I'm sure that stuff will still pop up under me. And shoot me a message. I've met a few people before up here that have been recommended to me, and they weren't the best of people, but hopefully the good people come out and meet up with me. I do have a job, and I'm going to school, so you know everywhere in between would be great.
Okay, now, when, when are your best times that you actually investigate?
So I try to work in the morning, and I try to do school somewhere between the early evening, and then I go in through the night, and usually I'll hit up some cemeteries just to test equipment or test editing and stuff like that. around, it's getting darker earlier now, so that's always good. Usually like 7 or whatever. But you can hit me up anytime. I'll just answer you whenever I see it.
Oh, that's cool. Hey guys, if you guys in the Dallas Fort Worth looking for somebody to join, please hit this young man up. I'm pretty sure he will give you a good interview and see what you're about, and hopefully you'll be able to join his team. So please check him out.
There you go. And I'm well seasoned. Like I said, I've been doing it since I was 7. I still do it by myself. I collect haunted items and all kinds of stuff, and I'm all about it. So
Okay,
yeah, for
great.
sure.
Wow. Now you said cemeteries. Is that your specialty, or an all type guy?
So cemeteries are the cheapest. But I've done a couple of other things. There's a cemetery in McKinney called Pecan Grove, and it's one of the most haunted cemeteries I've ever been to. Terry, I've never ran away from an investigation, but I left this one. This was terrifying. I was with my friend, and usually when I'm with somebody else, as long as the camera's rolling, I'm fine. But this was just something else, and I had to leave.
Wow. Can you tell me a little bit about?
Yeah, so we went there a couple times. We have a full video on my YouTube, Paranormal Files. It's called Pecan Grove. And when we went, I was just trying to test out an investigator for their potential, because I know that if we go to this cemetery, something's going to happen. But what happened that night, I didn't expect. See, the living scare me a lot more than the dead. And when stuff is walking through the woods, you start questioning if it's the deceased or if it's something else.
Right.
So yeah, we were so first of all, we started headed to the back of the cemetery, and there was this field, kind of this tall reeds that's right up against the woods, and we were hearing walking back there, and then we heard a growl come from back there. We're like, okay, let's keep moving, and then we went a little further back, and there was just a trail. It's just trees on both sides, and it trails in, and there's another cemetery back here. So we followed
Mhm.
that trail down, and what we didn't know, Terry, was that it was fenced off there completely. So we had to turn around and come back. But as we're walking over there, we're hearing these footsteps on our right coming through the trees and stuff. And in Texas, we have a lot of armadillos. If you're not from Texas and you come in and you investigate an area and you hear footsteps, it's probably an armadillo. But what we were hearing, it was going from one spot to another spot, and then there was two of them, and then we I remember catching a glimpse of like human eyes in the back of the woods, and then we made
Mhm.
it to the fence, and we're like, well, shoot, we have to turn around. There's no other way. We're going back, and so we started and start heading back, and now we hear about 3 to 4 on each side, and
Oh,
now it's like we're being choked, right? So that if this is people, that's very scary, because who knows what they're gonna do to us, And I don't know, man. I told him, I was like, "Do you want to run?" And I think I still have the audio somewhere. But he was like, "Yeah, let's get out of here." So we went to the
wow.
car and we left. But that same cemetery, we saw like shadow figures. One of the loudest tree knocks I ever heard was crazy. We heard a branch snap and we were trying to figure out where it could be. And this is like an open cemetery. Like there's only trees, there's no like stuff falling on the ground. And
Hmm.
we're searching around this tree, and then as we're leaving, it sounded like an axe hit the tree. It was so loud. And we caught that on camera. That was crazy.
Oh, wow, man.
Yeah.
were you able to catch a video or
I'm
just
sorry.
was you able to catch any video in that cemetery, or was it just audio?
Oh yeah, no, so a lot of the stuff is audio, but yeah, it's a video where you hear like the tree like hit and stuff, and it's crazy.
Wow.
Um,
I've had a podcast with a young lady last week who, I don't know, man. It's just something about Kenny, Texas, that town. I don't know what it is, but it's something that's unsettling there.
hmm
A lot of history, a lot of bad things happen from, from back in the Western days all the way up to the 40s, where, just the whole town was just corrupt.
yeah,
So
and
uh, it's crazy.
yeah, Midlothian too. Midlothian's fire department, their mascot was a ghost for a while
Hmm.
because they had stuff happening around the firehouse and all kinds of stuff. There's conspiracies of the Freemason stuff in some of these buildings, and it's all kinds of weird. That
Hmm.
was Midlothian.
Wow, that's crazy, dude. Are you,
Mhm.
tell me some what, you got this equipment. Tell me some of this equipment you're working with.
So I have the setup for a nerve system. So we can do 4 cameras anywhere in different rooms. And I use this mainly in residentials. Sometimes I'll do, or I used it once at a haunted winery. Um, but I think that's probably one of our biggest because we have like a truck battery and a couple other tools that we can connect together to get this big system to work outside. And it works for about 3 hours, which I mean, for it just running off a truck battery is pretty good. Um, got 2 millimeters, one with the REM pod. We have the SB11. Um, we got some really good microphones. I have one of the older Olympus models that has the built-in mic,
Hmm.
and usually these things are running for like $300, and I found it for like $40, so I grabbed that one. But really, I think the most important equipment is like yourself. So whenever I'm in a place and if stuff isn't really happening, sometimes, especially if it's a residence, if I'm not trying to make any kind of content out of it, I'm just trying to figure out for science,
Hmm.
I'll shut off all my equipment and I'll just sit in there alone and just see what I feel, just see what happens. Because sometimes you'll get some crazy stuff that just happens when the lights are off.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you with that. I'm not too fond of the darkness. I don't know why. Maybe because you keep hearing things that go bump in the night, and all that stuff. So, all right, you know, one thing that I can tell you is, uh, paranormal investigating is like it's like another full-time job, man. You know, with you going
hmm
to school, going to work, where do you get time to, edit, produce all your videos when you go investigating, considering it's just you and there's really nobody, on your team to help you?
Yeah, it's been pretty dry. I mean, I try to do other things just around the house that to where I'm not going out and doing investigations. Sometimes I'll investigate these dolls up here, or I have a haunted mirror over here, um, and I try to get stuff out of them. And I like to keep most of that just raw. but you have to slow it down, listen to stuff. Um, Recently, I went to my dad's cemetery and I recorded on. I just got a converter, so I'm recording on a actual like videotape camera, and then
Mm-hmm.
I convert it to digital because I've heard a couple times that spirits may be able to manipulate the actual film, and yeah, it's literally just anywhere in between. You just gotta squeeze it in, and really the thing that keeps me going is uh, I'll just get random comments some days. Like I've been posting maybe once a month. Like it's been rough, but I'm paranormal hangover is real. So you know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah.
you go out there, you got a whole investigation, you come home, you're like, I want to look at the footage, but I really don't want to look at the
Yeah.
footage.
All right.
Um, and sometimes there's stuff that just dries up, and that's just how it is, being by yourself. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. But yeah, if like somebody comments on like a video that I posted 3 months ago or something like that, it really it's people entertained. They want to watch you do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff that keep going. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Someone just called me. So
Oh,
um but yeah, I it's just finding those little slivers of time. Uh I have maybe I'm hitting around 240 subscribers, which I'm appreciative of every single one of them. And I have videos that reach around 70 views, but then I have other videos that are in the thousands, like 12,000 views or 15,000 views. And
wow.
it just takes one video, Terry, and then you got it.
Oh, definitely. You know, I've been, investigating for 3 years now. And to be honest with you, I really quit posting videos on YouTube. For the simple fact, it is just so hard to get subscribers, out there, because there is so many good content out there already, and I'm like, well, shit, dude, how in the hell am I gonna
Yeah,
come with this guy, that guy, and I just like, well, dude, I can't do this. So I totally stopped putting paranormal videos on my YouTube channel. Now, what I will do is post them on my Facebook page. For the simple fact, it's so easier to get followers, and on YouTube than it is. I mean, on Facebook. I'm sorry, on Facebook than it is actual YouTube. I'm not
mhm.
saying that there's more viewers on Facebook than there are YouTube, because I think there's a lot more out there on YouTube. But it seems like it's really competitive to post your videos on YouTube because there is so much out there. You know,
Yeah,
you're not even competing with your next door neighbor. You're competing with people halfway across the country. I mean, and
right.
halfway the world, on getting views and subscribers. And to me, because every now and then I'll look on YouTube and I'll see, well, I got four right now. I think I've got like 465 subscribers on YouTube. And dude, I'm like, oh my God, dude, is it me? Is my content sucking or what? Because the next guy got like 1.5 or 2.6. And I'm like, oh man, what the hell am I doing wrong? But then when I go to, but when I post a something on Instagram, man, my followers goes up. I mean, I already got like how many followers? I got like 2,300 followers on Instagram, and
Hmm.
I can filter into those people because they already know me, and so on and so on. So I kind of see where I like posting on Instagram more than YouTube, and for some reason, people on IG, and if you tell them to go to your Facebook page and check out the content there, they really don't do it. They just stay on Instagram. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's no reason why I got 2.5 followers on Instagram and only got 465 on YouTube.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but if you think about like YouTube, 465, if you were standing on a stage and there was 465 people in the room, that's pretty good. It's 465 people that want to watch you. And it's the individualizing yourself that's the hard part, like you were saying. Like there's so many people out there that are trying to do their thing, and I think a lot of the other things I like to do other than investigate like items I already have or going out and doing investigations, I really like to post videos that help other investigators. um, I post videos like how to edit EVPs, how to set up a nerve system. And I have like an hour-long video on one of these books right here. This is probably my favorite book. It's 101 Ways to Find a Ghost. This is like my manual. And this is probably the sixth one I've had, because every time I get a team member, I like get it for them and I give it to them to read. And the stuff in here is really spot on, and it's helped me a lot. And I like sharing that kind of information, and I just like helping out other investigators. And if they have any questions and stuff like that, I love answering them. So another thing that's different for me is I don't try to make my videos scary. Like
Mm.
there's people out there that really try to make it a mystery or spooky or whatever it is. I try to keep it as real as possible, and it's more of like a paranormal vlog than it is a paranormal show, almost like a video.
Right.
um yeah, and that's just me. I just like to keep it as real as possible. There's sometimes where almost nothing happens, and I still have to throw together a video somehow to make it interesting, whether it's just me and there's one where it's me and my brother, and we investigated the cemetery. Not much happened there, but just the interaction back and forth between us, and just the things we're doing, how we prepare and stuff like that, the story behind the place we're going to. And if nothing happens, nothing happens, and I'll still make it into a video.
Oh yeah. Now, do you put because one thing I've noticed about a lot of paranormal investigators is, they put that creepy music in there. You know, do you do the same thing? If you really don't want to make your videos with that creepy vibe, or you just put whatever that comes to mind?
So there's some people that put like shrieks and stuff like that to try to make it more scary. I'll
Hmm.
put like a nice like background music that's a little spooky, but it's just so you don't get bored, It's it's just something to keep you engaged. Um and yeah, so I do that, but I don't like try to jump scare you. Like sometimes they'll like turn and it's just another investigator, and they'll put like that loud noise trying to jump scare you. And yeah, that's not my type of thing.
Okay. Let's change the subject up a little bit. We're still gonna talk paranormal, but let's change it up a little bit. Uh, let's go back because this is something I talk to about every paranormal investigator I talk to on my podcast, because I like to think. I like to hear what people think sometimes about certain instances and certain things. What do you think about Hollywood and the paranormal?
We're talking like Zach Bagans type.
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
I mean,
just all of it.
yeah, I mean,
So
in general.
TV is TV. So let's talk about, somehow like magic tricks and shows and stuff like that is pretty close to like paranormal. Usually if someone's interested in the paranormal, they're interested in magic. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I know I sure was. But I think there's something similar because nowadays we have magic shows that are specifically tailored uh, to trick the audience, not so much the people within the community, or not actually people that they're there with ants and stuff like that, and they're just actors. And unfortunately, I think the paranormal stuff started out real, and then they realized this isn't too good for TV, and they just started faking stuff. Not saying all of it is fake, but I think a lot of it is, and it's unfortunate because uh, these are dead people. These are actually people that existed at some time, and you're turning them into some kind of sideshow. Um, you know, and I guess you can say that's a thin line between actually investigating and, faking it. But, at least when you're actually investigating, it's more for like research and science than, just throwing something out there for entertainment that's not exactly true.
Right. Man, I was streaming through TV and I come across Ghost Adventures. Man, I picked up my remote and I turned that channel so fast, man, because those guys irritate the hell out of me. You know what?
Yeah.
It's weird how, and it's true what they say. I'm pretty sure you heard that saying, one bad apple ruins it for the whole bunch.
Mhm.
And that one guy, dude, he just ruins it for every, if, as good as other people are on that show, it's just, it's just him that irritates the hell out of me. And,
Zach,
and yeah,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and it,
Zach, he's the Chris Angel of the paranormal community.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Either you
Hmm.
love him or you hate him. Either one. And I don't love or hate anybody, but let's just say I don't like his methods.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
His methods aren't perfect. And you know what? And I really see people out there that are trying to mimic what he's doing. And dude,
Mhm.
you're putting fuel, I mean, on fire that can blow. I mean, that's not good.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's it gives it a bad look too, because if somebody looks at that and they haven't really seen ghost hunting before, they're either gonna think it's like some kind of. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my headphones just made a noise. They either think it's like BS, or they get out there and do the actual thing, and they're like, "Oh, nothing." It's not like the shows. And, it's not like the shows. It's not at all. So if you're actually interested in investigating, know that most of the time it's boring. It's not a lot's going on. But when something does happen, that's the exciting thing, and that just keeps it. It gets your heart pumping again.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's definitely different.
Oh yeah. But you know what makes a let's say you out investigate and you I don't know, dude, because I really don't think that it all depends on the type of person that you are if you use a boring a show or not. It all depends on your personality. Because if you got a boring
Hmm.
personality, of course, your show or whatever you're doing after investigating is going to be boring. But if you're upbeat, outspoken, say what's on your mind, and talk to the people, then you like people would be more attentive, and with your with your your whatever that you're doing, your show or your podcast show, or your investigation on YouTube. I've always been like that. I've always talked to people, especially if I'm live. I always talk to the people and let them know, and let them, just try to see through my eyes, and keep it, positive, and just, have fun with it. Because if you don't have fun investigating, it's gonna be boring.
Yeah.
And
What were you saying? What was the last part?
And I've always been like that.
Yeah. I think one of the most fun investigations I've done was the Hotel Galvez in Galveston. It's one of the most popular videos on my YouTube channel. And tonight, I'm going to do like a live watch party on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So if anybody wants to join, it's going to be at 7 Central Time. And we're just going to watch it together. I'll tell you all about like the behind the scenes and stuff, like what's going on and what led to what. And it's actually been a while since I've been there, so I'm probably not going to remember a lot of the stuff and until I see it again. But I loved that because at that time I did have it was me and a really good paranormal investigator. It was just the two of us. But anywhere we go, when we go on an investigation like that, we wear our paranormal shirts. It catches attention. People come and talk to us, and that's exactly what we want. And it's great because people feel like they can relate to that kind of stuff whenever, especially if it's a hotel. I have so many comments on there saying like, "Oh, I was there." Like I'm either going there or I was there. This is my experience, and I really like that. And I didn't expect that out of making the video. Actually, I just thought it was fun, and I thought it would be cool to make a bigger video than I usually do.
Right. Okay. Now, Travis, you're in the Dallas Metroplex. Now, we're talking the biggest, the second. I don't know if Houston. I don't know if it's bigger, Dallas or Houston. But how do you get across your community? How do you reach out to everybody? Let them know, hey, Travis from either Chip Paranormal or Paranormal Files, I'm right here, dude. You come talk to me. What exactly does Travis do to reach out to those people?
I think a lot of that is Facebook, and it's just I am in my old Cedar Hill group, and I really like posting about local legends and ghost stories that happened in like each building around the town. And then it's something people can relate to. Either you get a lot of really fun, good feedback, like, yes, I've been there, I've had this stuff, or you get the older folks that are like, this is all BS. I've been there so many times and never experienced anything. But either way, that's what I like to do. I like to post in Facebook, and then people, usually when I'm doing like residentials, I get private messages like, hey, I saw your post on YouTube. Do you come to houses? And yeah, I do. And that's how we get a conversation started. And I do that. I've been wanting to do like classes at like the local library and stuff like that. Some businesses that I reach out to, or they reach out to me, we talk, and then after I investigate and stuff, they're like, hey, I'm friends with this person over at this business, and maybe you should talk to them, or maybe you should check them out. And that's just how it goes. You look for those tight communities, because Cedar Hill's a lot smaller than Dallas, and
Oh yeah.
Cedar Hill's yeah, it's a lot easier to get to know people and talk to people in that area. So yeah, and sometimes you just have to find a location with history, and the secret is you may or may not know if it's haunted, and then you send an email saying, "Hey, I heard your place is haunted. Can we discuss?" And you may or may not have heard it was haunted, and they could email, either just ignore your email or be like, "How did you know?" And you know, who you talk to,
Yeah, who you didn't
and
talk.
yeah, but you know, sometimes I'll do that. I'll just send out a bunch of emails, because here in Dallas, they really like to profit off of investigators. You know, the Majestic Theater and all these other really haunted places, you know, it's 600 a night, it's $1,000 a night, and it's not cheap. I try not to go that route.
Yeah. You know, I see that a lot of paranormal investigators are spending a lot of money going to these places. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not the guy that's gonna knock you. If you can afford it, then so be it. But the question is, Travis, would you want to go into a place where there have been so many paranormal investigators been into constantly over and over and over? And each time a paranormal investigator go in there, they're basically now, would you want to do something like that, or would you want to go out and find your own, your own hotel and can say, Travis, hey, I did this myself. Nobody's been here but me. So
Hmm.
fun to say, hey, I've discovered this.
Yeah. So it depends on where we're going and who it's with. If it's with like another group of well-known investigators and we all go to a well-known place, I mean, I'm okay with stuff like that because they're posting content, I'm posting content. It's like, oh, we're at Hill House, and everybody's like, oh, Hill House, yeah. But you're right, a lot of the places have just been worn down because it's been done so many times over again. I mean, granted, people get all kinds of experiences and all brand new experiences either to them or to the audience, but it's the same place, it's the same story. That's one reason I like to contact these businesses that don't, like, nobody really knows about. Like, that's how you find the most crazy hauntings, is they're hidden. They're not out there in the open. It's people that don't want to talk. It's people that are so scared of looking bad that they can't. They don't want to say anything. And after dust has settled, investigations happen, and after you've collected evidence, after the house is clear, I like to talk to them and be like, "Hey, this is what we got. Now, are you comfortable with me sharing this? Like, whether it's portions of a video, maybe it's just a small shot of an apparition or something like that."
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's how you get really good content. And another thing, like you were saying, the Hotel Galvez is known for being haunted. It's one of the most haunted places uh, in Texas, and the thing is, you have to be likable, like what you said. Not every paranormal investigator can go in there and roam the halls free with their equipment and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And it was a small team. It was just me and my friend, and they don't get investigators. They rarely ever get investigators. It's such a nice, like, upper scale hotel. Not, I guess people are too scared to go there and do their thing. But I know that I was one of the first to release a full video of investigating that place, and it's a huge place. But they were excited for us to be there. The owner was very welcoming, and he really he likes the idea of it being haunted. You know, they have like ghost tours and stuff like that. But there were parts of the hotel that I've been in that they told me to put the camera down. That
Oh
they're like,
wow.
yeah, they said, put the camera down. I want to take you in here and see what you like, how you feel in this room. And yeah, it's stuff like that. You know, that was a gold mine to me because that was a very haunted place. It's probably one of the most vivid apparitions I've ever seen was in that hotel. And yeah, not a lot of people talk about it.
Oh wow, cool. Now, Travis, being a paranormal investigator, there's three different levels. Oh, there's multiple levels of being a paranormal investigator. You have some that validate, and you have some that validate, and they want to solve your problem. And then the third one, and probably the most serious one, is those that have things in the house that they can't solve. Do you have somebody?
You're breaking up, Terry. It's hard to hear you.
Is you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Is there anything out there that you can talk to if something to handle?
I like to. I'm pretty. What's the word? I'm okay with experiencing whatever if it helps a family. Um, I won't go in face first if it's something really bad. But like I said, some of those houses I grew up in, I've seen different things. One of those things was when I was around 15, 16. I remember I was sitting at my computer and I was recording uh, or I was editing a video, and it was broad daylight, and the pictures in the hallway were like banging up against the wall, and all of them. There were so many, and hang on, sorry, I'm switching headphones. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just trying to ignore it. But eventually it got so loud that I had to get up and do something. So I just opened my door, and as soon as I turned that knob and cracked the door, it all stopped. The air was super still, and then I heard this growl mixed with a hiss, and came down my hallway. I just slowly closed the door again. I locked it. Not that that's gonna do anything, but I've seen some very scary things in that house. And honestly, uh, I'm not exactly sure. I feel like because I was younger, this might sound messed up, but I feel like because I would, now that I'm older, I have much more to live for. You know, you start getting values and stuff like that in different places, and so things become more scary. And it's I haven't came across anything like that since. But if there were like children involved and, the parent, maybe a single parent or something like that, I would definitely get involved.
Cool. All right. I mean, it seems like that's not afraid of anything.
I try not to be. I'll be scared. I promise you. I'll be in there. I'll be shaking like a leaf, but I'm trying. I'll try my best.
Okay, cool. Hey, man,
Everybody's scared of something.
the only way you're gonna get experience if you go, don't go in head first. Always go in foot first.
You gotta dip your toes in
Yeah,
there. See what
gotta
you're dealing with.
And the one thing that you keep saying, Travis, that I really like is you keep saying one of. That word one of says a lot in the paranormal world compared to the most.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you say the one of, you know, people's like, well, okay, it's one of the most haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I respect that. I really do. That you say that, because when it gets to the point to what somebody says the most haunted, that's opened up a book for major discussion.
Right.
Because how do you know? You know, that's why in the paranormal world in the field you got to choose words lightly, because somebody is always going to call you out on something.
Yeah.
So by you saying one you know, that word, one of
Mm-hmm.
the most haunted, hey, thank you.
But yeah, of course. It's like rating cheeses. You know, just pick a cheese and say this is the best cheese because everybody's different and there's everybody experiences things different. And you know, like I said, there's all these hidden things too that aren't public that there might be some family here in Texas like locking themselves in a room and boarding their windows up because they're so scared of a haunting. Like who knows? You don't. And that could be the most haunted house and it's just never public because they're too scared or you know who knows.
Who knows? And you know, and there, I mean, I've people would say, well, Mineral Wells, Black Swan Inn. You know, there's so many places that paranormal investigators would use that one word, the most haunted. And you know, and every single time I would have to jump in there and it's like, well, how do you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because you can drive down 35, like you're saying, and see an abandoned house on the side of the road, and something might decide, hey, I want to stop there. So you stop. It might be something in there that will run your ass right up out of there. And that house right there can be, you know, just as it could be the one. You know what I'm saying? But to
Yeah.
say that all these other places are the same, nobody.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody experiences, I guess we rate hauntings by how much they scared us, how much how intense the haunting was, right? And all of our intensity levels are on they're on different scales. So someone might see a full bodied apparition and think that is the most haunted place I've ever been to, or that is the most haunted place because I saw a full body apparition. Well, this person over here got pinned to the wall by a demon. He's like, well, that's the most haunted place because, you know, and it's just like this level of, you know, how, like for me, that peach house with that growl and hiss, that's the most haunted place for me
Right.
so
And what,
far.
yeah, and what's so crazy about it? Who's to say that these ghosts or spirits aren't going have their own little group thing going on the other side? You know, there's the ones like, hey, I think I just scared the shit out of these people. I think I got the most haunted house.
Yeah.
Or this
Yeah.
over here, you know, they all got this little group, you know, competing to see
Hmm.
got the we really don't know until we actually cross that barrier and actually see what's going on. But
Yeah.
you will never, ever, ever know, you know, on what house is haunted, you know, what place is haunted. For the simple fact, dude, it takes us 10 hours to get from El Paso to Beaumont. Anything in between that's never been discovered, come on, dude.
I mean, we only have like 4 or 5 major metroplexes. And then, yeah, everything in between, who knows?
Hey, everything in between is farmland.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You
We
know,
it's crazy.
that there might be some really horrible history, in those small towns that nobody talks about.
Oh yeah.
And, you don't know. You don't. And
No.
that's just how it is.
Hey, I would
Uh,
love to go. I don't know if you ever heard of a little town called Brownwood, Texas.
Burnwood? I don't think so.
It's just east. No, it's just west of. No, it's just north of. No, it's just south of Cisco, Texas.
It's somewhere. Yeah.
It's somewhere in West Texas.
Yeah.
Just trying to
Yeah.
figure out. Yeah, it's just south of Cisco. And dude, the whole and what's so really weird about this town, Travis, is there's nobody downtown. The whole downtown is
Yeah. It's just ghost.
I
Yeah.
don't it's go, dude. You got high-rise buildings just totally abandoned.
Hmm.
I mean, you got skylines that's totally abandoned. And I mean, it seemed like somebody put a lot of money into build this this city, but it's totally abandoned. It's weird because it's in a circle. Everything's outside of it. You can actually see people, but once you step into the downtown area, it's like a ghost town.
That's really weird. And Texas has so many ghost towns, and none of them are like labeled anywhere. There's not like a list of these ghost towns anywhere. And
Yeah,
one of those could be the most haunted. We
and
don't know. Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
little
it's wild.
there's a little town between Brownwood and Cisco called Starlight, Texas, Star something. It's called Star something. This town, the population is of 23, but the town is built to hold a lot more.
Yeah.
And every time I went through that town, I'm like, dude, this is a great freaking place to investigate because all the abandoned Hey, you remember the movie where all the abandoned buildings, the doors would flap open back and forward, but there's no wind?
No.
You
No.
never did that?
No.
Dude, the doors are flat, the little wooden doors are flat back and forth, but
Oh,
there's
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
okay, and dude, you pass through that town, you just get this creepy vibe. I'm like, dude, either I want to stop and investigate it, or I want to hit that
Hmm.
green light and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I'm saying?
50-50
But
flip of the coin.
yeah, so I'm the type of person that want to pull over to the side and do a quick investigation
Hmm.
of town, and I think I'm going to do that when I go back. If I ever get a chance to go back up there, I would definitely do that. But dude, there are so many places, so many ghost towns that were booming. I'm not going to say a metropolitan. I'm just going to say a booming city that are no longer there, either
Hmm.
because something dramatic happened, the money quit going in, just something dramatic happened to the town where everybody just got up and left. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And
A
where
lot of there's so I
and
was just saying,
trust
there's so many of those South Texas from like the cartel and stuff like that. And
oh
yeah,
yeah. Hey, and where there's a town, there's a what? What is the one thing a town is always gonna have?
history.
History and a cemetery.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm sorry, that was my damn cat. And dude, so there's always history everywhere, every town. I don't care if it's population 2 or population 10 million. There's history. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
get on.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
do you have any animals by chance? Do you have a dog?
I have two.
Okay.
I got a little one down here, and I got a big one just outside the door.
Have you ever took them on a, investigation with you?
I have an old video on Instagram, an old Instagram, that I took my dog into a cemetery. He was in my passenger seat in the truck. He just barked like crazy outside the window and like at something at the window that I just couldn't see. But I have a crazier story for you. That house that I told you had the growl hiss thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Straight out of a movie. We had a little Yorkie. She was a little brown Yorkie, and I was looking down the hallway, and it was nighttime. Hallway lights on, and then our living room is right at the end of the hall. That light was off, and then it kind of turns left into another hallway. But this little dog, my dog, she heard or felt or saw something. She ran down to the end of the hallway, and I can only see half of her, like barking at something, and then she yelps and she just goes,
Oh
and then
wow.
she backs up and she runs right back down the hall to me.
What do you think it was?
Yeah, I think it was whatever was growling or hissing or whatever. I think only something like that would have the power to snatch a dog like that.
Mm, yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about all your haunted. It looks like dolls back there, or
Oh yeah, the
I see.
girls.
Yeah, I see a Raggedy Ann. Is that thing haunted?
So the Raggedy Ann's probably the least haunted. Um, Let me show you. This is one of my first. I have a lot more behind me, below me. There's this one, but this is probably the first in the collection. Um, she doesn't have a name, Laws, but I I haven't gotten around. I have so many. I haven't really gotten around to it. But she's my oldest, and when she's a lot less active now. But when I first got her, we kept her in the closet, and she like you would hear things going on in the closet, like crying and scratching. Um, One day, this I was dating this girl, and she was moving her, and she accidentally hit. She like knocked her in the head, and immediately she was like, I'm sorry, like won't happen again." And later that day, she was sitting at the couch, and behind her is like our bedroom door, and she felt like this chill on her neck, and she turns around, and the door is slightly cracked open, and there was a small hand reaching between the crack and holding onto the doorknob, and then it like went back
Oh
into
wow.
the room. And sometimes the blinds would ruffle like someone running their hand against them. But I
Hmm.
think the craziest was we were laying on the couch watching TV. She fell asleep on my shoulder, and my arms and her were all tucked under this little throw blanket. And my arms were near my lap. And up here, the blanket just goes, it just pulls off so much that it woke her up. And I told her, I said, before you say anything, me taking that off, like, look where my hands are. Like, that is not, that was not me. And I think all that comes back to her.
Oh wow. You think we got a jealous
Yeah.
going on here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, possibly. We, now I told you I have a haunted mirror, and that's probably one of the most haunted items
Where'd you get
here.
where'd you get it from?
Uh, an investigation. Here, let me show you. Now, I was told that this is probably around 1800s. This is the mirror. That's you. Um, but it has like all these little holes in the back. You can see it's old. Um, so the story behind is this girl. She got it from antique store. She kept it at her apartment. Her friend would come over, do her makeup in the mirror, and about a about a week after, her friend came over and killed herself in her apartment.
Oh wow.
And another friend came by and said, "Hey, if you don't want that mirror, I'll take it." And she said, "Okay." And so she took the mirror and she laid it on her floor in her small apartment, and she laid a Ouija board on top of it, and she lit some candles around it, and she just wanted to talk to whatever was connected to this mirror. And when she did that, there was a boom, and it was like a shockwave. And I think you know what that could mean. But things started going crazy after that. She started hearing her bathroom door. Like, she had a small apartment. It was probably like 600 square feet. It was a small apartment, and she had doors like slamming, open, close all night. She had stuff moving around in her kitchen, and sometimes she would hear like rustling and stuff in her kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so she asked me to come over there to investigate, and I did. And I remember asking it. We did the thing because this is just an investigation. This is just for my residents, and which not every paranormal investigation investigator actually goes out and does residential stuff.
Right.
But I went out there, and we shut everything off. And I told her, I said, we're just going to talk to it and see if we get anything. And I said, do you want me here? And from the dark, I just remember this breath on the side of my face just says, no. And all right. So I told her, yeah, I said, let's do an investigation without the mirror. I said, let me try to bless this mirror with some water and, do what I need to do to it. And I'll keep it in the car. And I took it in the car after all that, and nothing happened. Nothing. And I've had the mirror ever since. Afterwards, I wrapped the mirror in like a tapestry and kept it in my closet. And my girlfriend at the time, the same one that experienced this doll, she didn't. She knew what was under the tapestry, but I haven't told her yet that I took the mirror. But she ended up taking the tapestry off and sending me a picture of it, and she goes, "What's this?" And I was like, "I think you know what that is." But ever since she took the tapestry off, I told her, I was like, "Put that thing back on and just leave it alone." And because I would rather have this kind of stuff in my hands where I know what's happening and I have an idea of what to do if things go out of hand, versus either giving it away or breaking it and potentially haunting like some other location that is, you can no longer take that item out and it's not haunted anymore. So after that, she started waking up with bruises on her. She started bruising on her ankles and stuff like that. And I asked the girl I took it from, I said, "Did you ever get bruises?" And she said, "Yes, on my ankles." And she's like, "I never connected it before, but that makes sense." And yeah, so we moved the bed like closer to the closet, and she started bruising even more. And then she was having these nightmares, and she would wake up, and she's like, "I just can't sleep." She asked me, she said, "Can you please switch spots with me, because I can't sleep near the closet." And for the first time, I woke up and there was a bruise on my stomach.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it was interesting.
Hmm. That
So yeah,
is weird.
one of the most haunted items here.
Well, you know what? If you no
Oh man, I just
what?
noticed that this has writing on the back of it. It says 9744 or 19. As it's hard to tell, but it's old. I never looked at it that close, I guess. And it has
Nice.
like a manufacturer name on the back.
Oh wow.
I'll have to do some searching once we're done here.
9744. All right. Travis, you got a bucket list?
A bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's that like paranormal bucket list.
Yes, sir.
So kind of relating back to what we said before, no, because I like the small hauntings or the hidden hauntings, I guess.
So
But
there's no place on this planet that you would like to investigate.
I would like to investigate the two houses I grew up in.
Are they still around?
They are still around.
Oh man.
If I
What?
yeah, anywhere in the world, it would be those two places.
Well, hey, have you reached out to a homeowner?
I've left my card a couple times and gotten nothing back. So I don't want to bug them too much, but I have thought about sending like a full length like letter and seeing if they'll get back to me. But
I mean, I think they would. I mean, it wouldn't hurt,
right,
to tell people your experience there. You know,
yeah,
I think that, hey, and personally, I think you should do it.
yeah, I agree.
What the hell was that?
What?
What was that?
I was looking at so I was looking at my most recent doll. Well, this one's the most recent, but this one is the most expensive and the biggest. Oh, and she dropped her wig. Look how big she is.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I actually got her at a antique oddity shop here in Dallas,
Uh-huh.
and she's made out of from two different places. I think her head was made in France and her body was in Germany, but she has this. She has her story on her.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, so it says when my mother, Edith Hurdle, was 10 years old in 1911, she was given this doll at the Methodist Church's big gathering for the Christmas tree in Winsboro. Her new stepmother had the doll dressed in white with a white fur collar and muff. This doll was given to me when I was 8 years old, and the face was made in France, and the body in Germany. Its worth is estimated at $5,000, and that was written in December 6th, 1990
Oh wow.
by Anne Striblings,
That
daughter
is
of Edith.
hmm. Have you ever reached out to those people?
I haven't. That would be cool. I was just thinking that too. I was like, I bet you she's still somewhere.
I think
But
that'd be interesting if you did.
yeah, my the shop owner was telling me that she was haunted, but I don't think she is. Her hair is definitely real human hair. Um, but yeah, she's one of my favorites.
Yeah, she looks expensive.
Yeah, don't tell the others.
Well, hey,
Uh,
you know what? Hey, we don't want any problems, man.
Oh,
We don't want any problems.
maybe we do. And that's how we get content.
Yeah. Hey, if I was to go, if I was, I'll ask everybody that question. If I had a bucket list, where would you go? And I've always tell people that I would love to go to France to
That would
invest.
be cool.
Yeah, that would be great. Right off of Normandy Beach. If you're a big history buff, then you woo can
I got a
imagine.
friend that lives near there.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he had a chance to investigate that beach if he's a paranormal investigator.
Oh, no, he's not. But yeah, that would be something interesting. When I was a kid, when I was 16, I went to Alcatraz, and it'd be cool to go back there with some more special equipment and stuff like that. Because, like I said, I was a kid; it was a family trip. But yeah, it was
That
interesting.
you know what? There's a multitude of people that would love to go to that place. And from what I hear,
Yeah.
yeah, and from what I hear, the tours on that place is really not that bad compared to some of the other, less, people that, less places that don't have as much history as that place. So
Hmm.
a tour of that place is probably what, maybe 100, $120, which is not bad.
Yeah, it was. I remember when we went, they told us about the islands and on our way over there. And then when we were there, they told us some more. And I think they had a walking group tour, but for the most part, they let you explore the island by yourself. And the ferries come in back and forth. It's like every 30 minutes or something like that. And then they're like, this is the last ferry. You can stay on the island as long as you want. And then as long as you catch that last ferry.
Why
Yeah.
don't catch that last ferry?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it'll be deliberate. But
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
I would definitely love to check that place out. Even I mean, I'm really open minded on where I want to go to investigate. But I mean, I just like we were talking about earlier, I just can't see myself paying that type of money,
Hmm.
to investigate places where been a lot of people there before. And yeah, hey, I get criticized all the time for it, but that's just me. I mean, I'm like that. I've always been like that, and I really don't think, but it is what it is. You know
Do
what?
you think
Tell the world how to get a hold of you, brother.
Yeah, so you can check me out. Instagram is Paranormal Files. I probably should get on my Facebook a little more, but I think that one's still Chips Paranormal, actually. So with me, just Chips Paranormal, or you can even look at my personal uh, Facebook, Travis Golson. It's right there on the screen. Paranormal Files on YouTube. You can catch me there, and you can catch me there tonight around 7. Yeah, we're gonna have that watch party and do Galvez. There might be some drinking happening, and just talking and having fun. So yeah, definitely. Any of those would be great.
Uh, all right. Well, you know what, dude? It has been a pleasure having you on the show, man. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy day, to come talk to me. And I don't know if you were able to see some of the comments that were on the podcast, but there were a couple, you know.
Yeah, well, thank you a ton for having me, and I hope we can maybe even meet up sometime in the future, take you some of these cemeteries.
You know
But
what?
it's
I'm a big history buff. That's one of the things that people criticize me on. I love going to cemeteries, and people always say cemeteries, everybody just go to lay their head there, and sleep. There's really nothing going on in cemeteries. Well, I believe in the total opposite. I believe cemeteries are just as active as a residential haunting. It all depends on the individual and circumstances. So we can debate on that.
If you think about it, that's the last time the family, besides them visiting, is near the body. That's the last time they sit there and grieve and talk about and share your experiences right there in the cemetery. So I mean, I think it can make sense that that could be someplace they hang out.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, for sure. But yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, and
Hey,
I'd love to talk again sometime soon.
sure. When you get your team together, if you ever decide to get your team together, I would love to have you come back on the show to introduce them, and let them talk on, how they have their spurs, investigations with you and with your team. I think that would be great. I would really do it in a heartbeat. But in the meantime, we do have a Texas Four Corners Paranormal podcast that's coming up in March 11th. Uh, if you would like, I can enter your name in the drawing. Since you are from the North Texas area, if you're selected, you will represent North Texas.
Okay.
And
All right.
yeah, and there are tons and tons of paranormal investigators in the Dallas Fort Worth area. So
Oh, I know. Yeah.
it would be an honor if your name is selected to represent your area. I mean, your region would be North Texas. So, hey, I would love to put your name in there if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. And the drawing would be in February. I think the last weekend in February. So as closer as that gets, you will see me start advertising a little bit more on that. And hopefully, hey man, I always tell people good luck because you really could be drawn and you could represent. You know what I'm saying? So, but in the meantime, Travis, I appreciate you coming on the show, brother. Let's do it again. Hey guys, this is Travis from Paranormal Files. Please reach out to him if you got any questions, especially those of you who are in the Dallas Fort Worth. And if you're looking for a team to join, reach out to this guy because we have room for you guys.
I'm looking. Yeah, if you're passionate and you're ready to go, I got all the equipment. I forgot to tell you, after that experience with the things closing in on me, I went and got a thermal camera. Like, so next time that happens, I know for sure.
Well,
But yeah.
well, not only that, get you an SLS camera. That would definitely let you know if
Hmm.
around you. Those little stick fingers would definitely pop up on that. I'm in the
Yeah.
process. I'm in the process of trying to get one. But then again, they do they do have that app that I think that's worked pretty good. I mean, I don't know how you feel about ghost apps on your phone.
Oh, I use the Spirit Box kind of apps. Yeah, I don't really use much of anything else, but stuff like Echo Vox, I've had experiences where it actually like verified that it was something. Like, I like to hold something and, tell me what this is, and then it tells me what it is. I'll say, tell me what it is again, and then we know for sure something's watching me. It's not just some kind of library of words.
I feel you. Well, you know what, dude? I'm gonna hold your time up any longer. I appreciate you coming on the show. Hey,
All right.
I would definitely reach out to some of my friends up in the Dallas area and have them contact you, to see if if they want to talk to you about joining their team. I know a couple of good mediums that are definitely looking for a home. So I'll reach out to them. And
Okay, sweet.
hey, how far are you from McKinney?
So I'm right near Addison.
Addison, okay, and that's what, hour and a half from Texas.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, because I definitely got friends that are definitely looking. So I'll give them a shout out, and if it's okay, I'm gonna shoot them right to you, so you guys can talk.
Yeah, go for it. Go
All
for it.
right,
That'd be great. Thank you, Terry.
all right, yeah, no problem. Hey guys, this is NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. Hey, I really thank Mr. Travis from Paranormal Files for joining me. Hey, and I will see you guys tonight in Oklahoma with the Oklahoma Paranormal. These guys they're from Norman, if I'm right. So, hey, in the meantime, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Travis, stay out of trouble, man. Don't be collecting no more dogs.
Thank you. Yeah, no, for sure.
All right,
See ya.
guys, see you later.